What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you live with a bunch of unboxings. Before we get into all those goodies, be sure to go ahead and smash that like button, gently tap it, push it, nudge it, whatever you want to do so that you don't forget. Because when we're looking at all these goodies, it's going to be easy to forget about those things to help the YouTube algorithm, as it were. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification so that when random videos like this drop, you will be one of the first people to know, and you can make the conscientious decision as to whether or not to watch it now or to watch it later. But in either case, as long as you watch it, we love you. And so we appreciate you, whether you watch this live or on the rewind. And so got home. If you checked out my last video that I did yesterday, you saw a lot of the pickups that I was able to get on the hunt out there in Missouri. What's going on, Mr. Guerrero? Hello there. Thanks for stopping by. And so y'all saw a lot of that stuff. And if that wasn't enough, I did make a couple of stops on my way home through Arkansas. And then got home to a bunch of stuff. If you saw my Instagram picture, or if you saw the thumbnail on the video, you saw the stack of boxes that was waiting for me when I got home. And looking at some of the packaging and stuff, this is probably not only going to be a great video for pickups, but it's also going to be one for rants. So we'll see there. So always a certain rant of mine is people mailing stuff in these type things. I know it's cheaper. But let's see if they did a good job packaging. Because as we all know, it's one thing to mail a box of rocks, but it's another thing to mail comics, for which there is a certain inherent value for when they're in good condition. And when you get for books and you see them on the eBays, you want to know that they arrive to you in said same condition. So they put it in a priority mailing envelope. People, that is why. What is going on, Perry Comics? Thanks for stopping by today. That is why, people, the Postal Service cannot make money. You are using them for your supply list. Come on, people, really? That is a rant into itself. But hey, now I got two pieces of cardboard. So let's see what we got here. And these things are all mixed up. I mean, there were boxes. We had our neighbor, she was feeding the dog and checking the mail, and it was raining here. So we were quick when the Ring doorbell went off to let her know to get down there and get those boxes in there quick before anything got wet. And so you knew it had to be a little Valiant Love in the house. And so we've got Armorines number 0, the gold variant. So back in the day, Valiant did either the 0 issues or the number 1s, did them all gold options that they sent to the shops. And so this was one of the gold editions that I was missing. Not missing very on y'all's end or not, but looks to be in the same condition. Doesn't look any worse for the wear, which especially nowadays, I don't know about y'all, be sure to comment if you experience anything different. But man, the influx of packages, and I know somebody who is high up in the post office here locally, and talking about just everybody getting corona, and so that's creating this other perfect storm, as it were, because not only do you have an increased volume that you're not used to or capable of handling, now you are further not capable of handling it because you are down people. So want to take notice here and give shout outs and kudos to this eBay seller because we have pull tabs here, people. He wrapped it in saran wrap. Not sure that was really necessary, considering it was only one book. I mean, normally people do that if it's more than one book. But things do look good. It was packaged in a gem nut, which I will, of course, be reusing to send stuff out. What's going on, James? How are you doing today, sir, or this evening? And so, yeah, we were talking about gold Valiants. And so this is PSI Lords number 1. This is not only the chromium cover, in which they did several of these, Exo Man of War number 0. What's going on, Lost in Comics? How are y'all doing this evening? So, but this is a chromium cover, Ninjak 1, Exo 0. A lot of them were those full chromium covers like that. And of course, Marvel. I don't know if DC ever did any. I know Marvel did several with X-Men at least back in the 90s. What's going on? Aggressively relaxing. We are aggressively relaxing and tearing open boxes like it's Christmas Day here in Mississippi. Hopefully everybody is staying safe out there. But so it's not only a chromium cover, it's not only a first issue, it's not only the gold variant of that, but it is also, on top of all that, it is Valiant Vision, which was 3D Comics back in the day. Valiant had several. The PSI Lords, Solar Man of the Atom was another one that they did that with. So I was quick to give the eBay seller credit for using pull tabs, which is good. I'm going to be quick to say this saran wrap is the devil, especially with only one book. All right, so everything appears, and with these chromium covers, they're metal, so if you've been something, there's no pressing it back out. What's going on? Superior Hero Reviews. Yes, there was quite the pile. And if you want to see the pile of comics, if you were not in the live stream yesterday, I had my fair share too there. Now, these are not packaged up. So in Arkansas, I made 2 more stops to 2 different comic shops. One was in this Whatnot antique type shop, and they had a booth in there. And it was in Little Rock, Arkansas. He had a 20% off sale, and so took it. Then they went back and picked up Darkhawk back in the day. They did 2 more issues, so 51 and 52, and so I was missing that one. So this is Turok Dinosaur Hunter, and it's done like the old Gold Key, and it's even kind of weathered to kind of look that way. But this is done by Dynamite, who now owns the rights to Turok, and this particular cover is done by Bob Layton, who was big in with Valiant when Turok was a Valiant property. Then we picked up Wonder Woman. This is issue 40 or 41. This is the 300 movie poster homage, and so I thought that was pretty BA for Wonder Woman, looking like she's fixing to kick somebody off a cliff and all that kind of good stuff. And you see $20, and it was 20% off of that. Squatchy Comics, what is going on, sir? I have got your box in here somewhere, but I'm not opening it because Squatchy's stuff, we're going to be doing a live unboxing on that one. So then we've got Batman Detective Comics number 5. This is from the New 52 run, 99 cents. Unity number 5. This is, of course, Unity is the version of Avengers for Valiant Universe. And this is a Clayton Crane cover. So pretty cool. Red Hood and the Outlaws number 7. Nothing too terribly huge with that. I was able to pick up at another Retrograde, which is another comic shop. You have to be looking for it because it's built. It's in the cellar essentially of another building, and so you have to be looking for the sign. Almost passed it up several times. Future State, the free version of this, and so I don't know if these are like first appearances or stuff. Dark Detective I might be interested in because as I understand it, it is still Bruce Wayne, but other than that, really just not sold on the Future State stuff. Faux Gold Keys, cool art style. You don't see that a lot. Yeah, and the Gold Key stuff and the painted covers for Magnus, Solar, and Turok, which was called Son of Stone back then. Now referred to as Dinosaur Hunter, but yeah, those are definitely awesome. Then we picked up at that retrograde, Marvel Comics presents Weapon X 83, Barry Windsor Smith goodness, and this is the one issue of Marvel Comics presents that I was missing out of that Weapon X storyline. So picked that up and finished that off. So that was good. Then picked up Transformers number 13. Nothing special that I'm aware of. It's just an early Marvel Transformers issue, and I'm kind of soft collecting those. And saw this Marvel Comics Presents and then this book, and so decided to pick that one up too. This is Batman 271. Again, nothing too special other than it's Batman, early Batman. And I'm focusing on the 300s, which I only need, I think, like 7 copies issues to complete 300 to 713, which is the volume 1 set. But look, I saw this, picked it up for $4, and it's one of the 200s that I'm going to be needing next. So there you go. I picked up that. So here is a rant. Rant number 1. I had bought something from somebody off of a YouTube auction. This particular YouTube seller has been on several different auctions, and this was the first time I purchased from him. Now, I contacted this particular YouTube seller multiple times as to tracking number, when am I going to find my books, and all that other kind of stuff, and to no response. And so started getting a little suspicious of this. And so I contacted them again about not getting any kind of tracking number. Just trying to locate it, going out of town, wanting to make sure somebody's here to get the package, all the excuses that you might use. And so then he posts on Instagram that, hey, my wife mailed the packages and she mailed them wrong. And so, sorry. That's it. That's all you got to say for yourself. So and so he doesn't even respond directly to me. He just sends it out to the Instagram worlds. And so he basically said in that deal that, look, my wife has mailed stuff. I've had several of you contact me because it was not mailed the right way. And so my wife mailed the stuff and she mailed it wrong. And I understand because my wife has mailed stuff wrong before. But guess what? When my wife mails stuff wrong, it costs me more money. So it's not an issue whether it's costing you less money, in which case you charge $9 for shipping. It only cost him $2.80 to mail it. And that wasn't really the big deal. The big deal is that the stand-uppish thing to do would have been to say, hey, look, I'm sorry. I mean, he never even contacted me back with the tracking number, which it does have a tracking number to it. So he never even contacted me back with the tracking number. So, Ruben Guzman, Cowabunga, folks, what is going on? He never even said, hey, here's your tracking number. Nothing. Just kind of left it out there. Well, kind sir, that's the last time I have to buy a book from you, isn't it? And so, but the stand-uppish thing, at least in my mind, to do is like, look, man, I'm sorry. My wife messed up. Again, I understand that because my wife has mailed stuff before. But since it cost him less, he could have said, hey, look, man, I charge you $9. It really cost me $2.80 plus the envelope. I'm going to give you $5 back. No problem. I was like, man, and that would have been copacetic with me, shown that he really cared. But as it stands, he doesn't care. So guess what? He doesn't get no more of Jason's business. And so there you go. But I did pick this up on a YouTube thing from him. So this is the ash can for Forged from Metal, the New Age of Heroes. This is from the metal run from before. And you've got several people's signatures. You've got Capullo's right here. You've got John Romita Jr.'s right here. This is Jim Lee's signature. And this signature right here is escaping me. but I'll figure it out. There's no C of A in there. And of course, after I said all that I did, you might be thinking, hey, is it legit? Yeah, I kind of wondered the same thing after all that. But I'm trusting as of right now that it is, and that I just added some SIGs to the old SIG pile because love getting some signatures on some books there. So rant number one. Well, at least he didn't package it up in cardboard inside that thing called a bubble mailer. So this one come from Maryland. It is in a first class package, so it's probably an eBay seller. Yeah, I do find that typically with people that are comic collectors in the community, they package things up really well because they know how they want to see their stuff come. And but as far as eBay sellers, they might be comic book collectors, but I think they're just more worried about trying to cover the eBay cost than trying to ship a book correctly. Just one man's less than humble opinion. Do appreciate those of you who are hanging out with me tonight as we unbox this, or for those of you who catch this on the rewind, that is perfectly acceptable. I know everybody's got busy lives, and I know that there are a lot of auctions going on, and people love their auctions. Let's see which one this is, but they got to be episode precise. Broke because of comics. A Christmas unboxing. Broke because of comics, and I feel your name. I really feel your name because I had a large stack of that stuff ready for me when I got home. So I was on a Valiant buying binge, and so this is Unity. This is the platinum version. There is a regular version, there is a gold version, and there is a platinum version. Now I have all three of Unity #1. That's some Barry Windsor Smith goodness right there. And so been picking up some of those. What do you want to bet that this is another eBay seller? Dead giveaway because of packaging. Typically, YouTube or Instagram sellers, they'll package stuff up in a Gemini mailer because, again, they want to know that their stuff gets there. Good. It was either you or doing the dishes, and you won. Well, I appreciate that. Your wife or whoever might not appreciate that, but I do appreciate you choosing watching some comics getting unboxed as opposed to the dishwasher. Usually a safe bet. And let's see who we got right now. Spotlight or Searchlight Comics. U.S. Media Mail, of course. So, let's see what we got here. Sure, of course. And we've got another Valiant comic book, Shadow Man #43. This is the last issue of that first run of Shadow Man, and this was the only one I needed to complete that set. So I now have the complete set of Volume 1. Interesting thing about Shadow Man, for those of you who are not aware, and is that an actual Monopoly game board behind you? Yes, it is. It is a first generation Monopoly board back in the 1930s or 40s, whenever it was, when Parker Brothers first released the Monopoly board. That is an original deal. And those houses are made of wood as opposed to plastic. Some of the chance and the community chest cards are different than what they are now. And some of the prices on houses and all that kind of stuff is different than what you see today. But it is an actual Monopoly board. And we've got, what's going on, David? How are you? And so Shadow Man is basically like the Valiant version of what's his name? Doctor Strange, Brother Voodoo. And so he's basically like Brother Voodoo in that kind of his powers and skill sets. And so basically Valiant done something that was really unheard of and has been unheard of since back in the 90s. And they basically came out with Rise Zero. Rise Zero was the big book to have because it's the first appearance of Bloodshot when the movie was announced. But in that book, they basically laid out what's going to happen in the Valiant universe. including it said Shadow Man's going to die in whenever it was 1998 or whatever. So they kind of set themselves up into a corner, but you knew it was kind of driving the point. And the thing is, like with Rye, somebody else picked up the mantle, like DC used to do back in the day. That a character can actually have a final story arc, and they can move on, maybe with somebody else that can kind of fill up the shoes, like for the longest they did with Wally West from when Barry Allen left, as opposed to having to resurrect the same old dry character. It seems like it just makes for more suspense. What is going on? Yes, and he had a great unboxing himself on Stanibal's channel the other night, where he got his, well, I won't spoil it. Go check out Stanibal's Prime channel and see for yourself what he got. Unless he wants to spoil in the chat, and of course that's entirely up to him. All right, what we got here? Okay. So this is an Instagram purchase, and so I saw this book on IG, and I said, "Man, that is definitely calling to some nostalgia." Isn't all of comics calling to nostalgia? But yes, definitely this one was calling to some early 90s nostalgia goodness. It was signed, which made it an even bigger deal, and it is a special copy of this particular issue. It's not the regular, which I have several copies of already. And so he threw it up there and a decent price point, and I bid, and he freaking mailed it out. So let's see if we can get this thing out of there. Dropping a new giveaway. So yeah, you'll go check that out. Giveaways are always fun. So this is Wildcats #1, the gold foil edition with a Jim Lee SIG up at the top. And this thing is clean as clean. If it's not a 9.8, I don't know what is. I've actually thought about sending that off to get verified with CBCS. So it's nice and encapsulated, and yeah, that it would look nice with the yellow label. So definitely some 90s Jim Lee goodness there with that. And that was an Instagram purchase. Let's see. Oh, yes. I think this is another Instagram guy. So let's see what we got here. Algorithm up in the house, and so we know we have arrived when the YouTube algorithm has finally found us, finally picked us up, and finally shined its light upon us. And what do we have here? We have some comics, of course. And so anybody that's in the chat is always a good suspect to go hit up and sub up to their channel, especially in light of the current giveaway that I have going on of the New Mutants 98. So we'll probably talk about that in just a minute if you're not familiar with it, but it does have to do with going and subbing up a new to you YouTube member who talks about comics and or pops. And so the people in this chat right now are probably good examples of that. So let's check this out. So the only reason that I got this is because it has to do with the adamantium process and all that kind of stuff with Wolverine. Has anything to do with the canon of Wolverine's claws actually coming out of his palm as opposed to his right side of his top side of his hand. But yes, it is a Klaus Janson cover, and it is Daredevil 196, early Wolverine there. appearance. And then we have some more Valiant goodness. Is this Valiant Night? We've got Shadow Man #0, the gold version. So as y'all can see, I got on this gold and special version deal kick, and the comic gods shined upon me. Then we've got Conan #6, some Barry Windsor Smith goodness there for you. Viewing pleasure. Then we got Star Wars #40. And this, of course, is part of the Empire Strikes Back adaptation in there. Been soft collecting these Star Wars books, and they're getting harder and harder to get at a decent price, at a decent grade, largely due to The Mandalorian and all the hype surrounding that and the spin-off shows that are going to happen. But this one came at a good deal. And everybody talks about newsstands, but as you might already know, when you're talking about a book that came out in 1980, I assume, because that's when Empire Strikes Back came out, the direct editions were more rare. So glad to pick that up. Then we got Michelangelo, the martial arts authorized training manual. This I picked up the Donatello one on the hunt week or so ago. So I thought it was pretty cool when I saw this posted on IG. Reached out to the seller and said, hey, do you have any of the other ones that I'm looking for? If you'll notice, I actually got #1 in the video yesterday, but this seller had the Raphael version of it. And so that was pretty cool to pick up. And notice how they spelled Raphael. Raphael's never been spelled that way, but this was Solson Publications. This was, this is before Turtles had hit it big and hit their stride. You also notice that Michelangelo is spelled AEL, which it was for many years. Of course, now they've kind of dropped the A, and it's just with the E in Michael there. But pick those up from IG. Yes, I had a package or two to open. Yes, I did. Flash by Night, you done snuck in here on me. What's going on? How is everybody doing this Saturday night? Let's see what we got right here. My wife come in and she saw all those packages and she's like, really? You have a suitcase full of comics you just bought while we were on vacation. And we were stopping in Arkansas at those two shops that I mentioned earlier. And really didn't have all that much, but in particular at one of the shops, the guy was about my age, so we started talking comics and all that kind of good stuff. And they're like, can you go? Have you not been to enough comic shops? I said, when is enough enough? Really? That is the question. That's as deep as to be or not to be, right? Yes, busted. It's like, what are you doing? What are we doing? We got Walmart in the house now? Swap for Comics, what is going on? How are you doing this evening? Yes, Agu. Yes, do that. This is Jeff Silversmith. So bought some books from the Jeff Silversmith. Mr. Silversmith. And check this out. Shout out to Mr. Silversmith. He knows how to do some pull tabs. He knows what's up. Pull tabs are always wonderful. They take all of 1 second to do, and they make my job as a purchaser so much easier and enjoyable because I can just tear open without fear of messing up my comics. And so he had a whole box of books up for sale that he offered on the cheap. And then on top of that, I won one of his auctions. So, matter of fact, some of these books are not mine. I've sold them to Tacoma because Tacoma Comics, who's also collecting that Marvel Star Wars run from back in the day, was in the chat, and he said, look, just let me know which ones you don't have. I might need some of them. So it is true. Some of them I've done sold to him. I'll have to look at what he told me, which ones are his. So we got Star Wars 31, 52, 58. This is Simonson Co. Yep, Walt Simonson. Knew he did a lot of the covers for these. 60, 62, 45, 39, 33, and 34. So I know a couple of those are actually Tacoma's comics, and they will be going out to him next week because I'll look at that list and put them with his other stuff and be shipping them out to him. Mr. Comics 89, what is going on, sir? How are you doing? I have still not conceded, and so Burke is not the winner. I do not appreciate you putting out there that he is the winner when it's not officially counted. So there you go. So, like I said, I think Jeff Silversmith was trying to clean out some books, and he had a whole huge lot of books that he wanted to sell on the cheap. And then when I bought those Star Wars books from him, he even gave me a better deal on shipping, even though he was going to have to ship them out separately, as you might have just saw, because the one would fill up a regular $15 mailer. Yeah, so if you're interested in doing the knockout over on Mr. Comics 89's channel, hit him up on IG because he's looking for some contestants. But let's see what we got here. And yeah. All right. That bubble wrap will get reused. Nothing will go to waste. Save the planet. Recycle. All right. So first off, we got some of these will be going back out. But we got Trinity 22, 20, 19, 18. I actually got 18, 17. Cool Jim Lee covers there. And then 15. 10, 9, looks like Adam or Andy Kubert did them. 8, 5, 4, 2, and 1. So an almost whole set of Trinity. And so see if I want to keep any of those or not. Then we got Batman Gotham Knights number 4. Walt Simonson did this, or did this one anyway. Of course, that's the replay from the Killing Joke. And those are newsstands from 2000. So starting to get a little rarer newsstand at that time, right? So we got Batman Gotham Knights number 9, Batman 592, and 593 I already have. This is 596, got it. 597, got it. 599, got it. 600, got it. 601, got it. 602, got it. Another copy of 602, still have it. 603, yeah, same. 603 and 604. 605, 607, 755. That's Detective. Now, I don't think I have that one. And then Detective 771, I know that I have because I actually bought a second copy of it when I was on the hunt. But I won't pay 50 cents for it, so it's not the end of the world. So now I have 2 copies to sell. And Southern, let's see, I'm hopping about. There's 5 auctions going on right now. You should stop by and go buy some more. Hey, if you were in here when I was showing the Star Wars books off, I'll be shipping those out to you Monday. Because, like I said, I just got back from out of town, and all those books were waiting for me when I got here. So, you'll have some stuff to unveil as well. Yeah, that's right, lady. It's already bought enough. What is wrong with people? There's an addiction problem here, people. They say that admitting is the first step to recovery, but I don't know. I've admitted it, and it still hasn't helped me any. So Let's see. We got some. Most of these I bought to sell because it was just such a good deal. So we got Superman and Batman number 5, number 14, number 18, number 19, little Michael Turner goodness there. Number 21, 46, 48, newsstand from 2008, newsstand from 08. Nice. 49, 62, 68, 69. And so then these are the new 52 Batmans. We got number 6, which I think is the first time the Court of Owls appears. Yeah, I know, right? Batman number 7, number 8, number 9. And I know somebody in particular that is looking for those early 52 runs. Someone hit them up and see if they want to give them first stab at it anyway. 18. Then we've got Batgirl number 9. I don't have this one. This is a tie in the Court of Owls. I might keep that one. Then we've got Batwing number 9. Again, Court of Owls tie in. Might keep that one. Then we got Batman number 2. This is the Jim Lee version of that. I already have a copy of this that's signed by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. So I'll be selling that one as well. Then we've got Batman number 3. First time, maybe? And number 4. And number 5. So not number 1, but a lot of the early 52 run of that. So I actually know 2 people. One other one just jumped in my mind. I'm going to check those out. But he was offering at such a good deal. He wanted to sell them. I'll buy them and resell them. It's no big deal to moi. I will have stuff to go up on either Barbarian's Kung Fu's channel or the Saturday Morning Cartoon Crew. In either case, be sure to check that out. I always send out stuff on IG. So if you're not following me over there, especially if you have boxes with me, I send stuff out on IG so that you will know when I am doing an auction. And if you're interested in any of the stuff that I've mentioned that I'm probably going to be selling, check me out. Now, this came from the Cleavers. So the Cleavers are generally on everybody's auction as well, Amy and Kevin. And so check them out. But I know that I have bought some Wolverines from them. Notice I said tabs. But we've got Wolverine number 30, little Gorgon appearance there. Got Wolverine 22. 21, little John Romita Wolverine Electra action there. I did not get a Teen Titans 12. I have a second print of that book, and I have the Con exclusive, which is the shiny version of that. I do not have an original version. Unlike somebody else I know, I wasn't going to spill the beans as to your big pickup, but he was able to get a steal of a deal, and he showed it off on Standable's channel last night. Then we've got Wolverine 56. Wolverine 54, Simone Bianchi cover there. Nice. Wolverine number 1 from that third volume, if you count the miniseries. Wolverine 53, another Simone Bianchi cover. Then we've got number 18, number 19, and number 20. I have a Con exclusive of that I got a Big Wheels mystery box, but I did not have a regular version of that. So one of these is Squatchy's box, and I'm going to, okay, that's Squatchy's right there. So Squatchy, if you're still in the chat, I am saving your box. I'm going to reach out to you on IG so we can schedule a time to do a live show and maybe talk up some of your art. Let those people who are not familiar with you talk up your game, man, your game. Bought the convention exclusive too, 9.8 for $100. Yeah, mine was raw. and I bought it from a YouTube auction. I can't remember the guy's name, so I must have bought much from him. But okay, so priority box inside of a priority box. Ooh, I know which one this one is. I know which one this one is. Man, this has been Valiant Night. So check this out. So this has been up here. Yeah, for sure. Sounds good. And hey, I love seeing Squatchy. He'll go live on IG and showing his craft off while he's drawing and all that kind of good stuff. And I picked up a cool book. If you checked out my IG, there's a spoiler alert there. But I couldn't wait, so I sent the video of it. So this, I've seen this on IG, or eBay before. It's been there for a while, and I just threw up this ridiculous offer on it. And I'm like, they're not going to accept it. I don't even know why I done it. Sure enough, of course, they accept it. That's how it goes, right? So these were two sketch covers that an artist has put together like this. So check that out. So they go together, and as you can see, it's just one continuous picture. Unfortunately, the numbers aren't linear for whatever reason. One got a 9.4 and one got a 9.6. But that would make it even more dope. But the detail that went into making this one continuous picture, aside from the detail of there's Exo's helmet in the background, all the way to Bloodshot's boots being tied. Then over here on this side, you've got Shadow Man over here off to the side. And when Ninjak is slicing up, he slices off a piece of Bloodshot's gun, which is still up in there. So definitely cool. What is going on? Bubs Comics up in the house. Did a Jack Nicholson cover. Yep. I've seen those Squatch boxes that he's done and put his stuff in there. How ridiculous was it? It was $150 less than what they were asking for it. So, I figured they're not going to accept that. So I don't even know why I done it, but sure enough, they ended up getting it. So, these are coming from Texas. I'm not sure who this is here. And we are winding it down, people. So some of the boxes that I got in were the Comic Tom Mystery Mail Call, which would be a separate video. The Spider-Man booth box video, which I blame Tacoma Comics for getting me to order. I'm not going to spoil it as to whether or not it was a good deal or not. You see the video when it drops. And then another deal is a toy that I bought from Big Bad Toy Store. So there you go. Nothing but trouble. Fun too. All right, so I'm not sure who this is. Oh, okay. I do know who this is now. So this was an awesome deal. So Jellyfingers Comics over on I think he changed his IG handle to be the same as his YouTube name. But the only interaction I've ever had with him is inside of an auction chat, and when he did one of the auctions for Jabroni after he passed away. He auctioned off a Bloodshot book that was signed by Perillo and graded, and so that's the only interaction I've ever had with him outside of that. So he reached out to me on IG and said, "Hey, I know you collect Batman. Would you be interested in this?" And so he started showing me off some good stuff. But it was stuff I was like, yeah, it is good, but I'm not really big on detective outside of certain keys, just because I'm trying to focus. As you can see, I'm not very good at it, but occasionally I try to focus. So he kept throwing out books, and I'm just going to show them to you. Detective 495. Very clean copy of Detective 495. Batman 340. I already have a copy of this. I'm going to see which one is nicer, that one or mine. Batman Family Giant, number 10. Some 50-cent goodness. Detective Comics 328. Yes, that's right, folks. 12 center right there. Uh, these things, covers attached. I mean, dope in the Mylars. And so then you threw these adventure comics like this 12 cent. I'm not a Superman fan, but I can appreciate it for sure. Same thing with the Supergirl. Got adventure comics 405, 15 cent goodness. I mean, how can you go wrong? Hardly wrong with 15 cent goodness. Detective Comics 465. Again, it's Batman, early Batman. I'm digging it, but I'm like, I just bought all this other stuff. And I mean, it always hits you at that time, right? The good deals always show up when you just spent all this money on other stuff. So that'd be about like Bub's going to contact me and say, "Hey, man, I'll sell you that Nabisco variant of Wolverine for $50." I don't know. That might be so good of a deal that I probably wouldn't pass it up. Lady's trying to make me jelly. See, in Nashville, now Lady will tell you all the little honey holes because I went to them all when I was up in Nashville and got some goodies myself up there. But Lady's always on the prowl up there in the Nashville. And so, look, guys, check this out. Detective Comics 173. 10 cent goodness, people. 10 cent goodness. Yeah, the cover's torn on that side. Anyway, so I'm looking at all these going, man, yeah, great, thanks, but I don't know. Then he showed me this one, Batman 155. That is the first appearance of the Silver Age Penguin. Silver Age Penguin, first appearance, 12 cent goodness. It's probably the top staple is attached, the bottom one is not. It's probably a 182, but look, when I tell you the deal that the dude gave me, amazing deal. Hope he doesn't mind me sharing this with everybody because it's just an amazing deal. But yeah, so I was like, no, I'm definitely interested in that book. Now he said, no, I'm talking about I want to sell all of them together. 155, that's right, lady. So he said, I want to sell them all together. I was like, okay, what do you want? He's like, well, tell me an offer. I said, dude, I don't want to be that guy that just lowballs you to death and tells you, $20, something crazy. And I'm only really wanting the one book. I'll take some of the other Batman, but I'm really not, in the situation to want to fool with it. Cause I'm thinking, this is, quite an expensive book by itself. I haven't even familiarized myself with the other ones, just this one, because I knew that it was be one of the ones I wanted to get, and eventually. And so I said, man, I don't know. Look, you just tell me what you want to sell it to me for, and I'll tell you yay or nay, and we'll go from there. He said $100. I said $100, like 100 American dollars. So he said $100, yeah, ship. I said, dude, I'm going to tell you that book by itself is worth more than $100. And I'm not trying to talk myself out of a deal, but at the same time, I don't want to be that guy that is known for ripping people off either. So I said that book is worth more by itself. Okay. He said, no, trying to clear some space out. I know you would appreciate it as far as being in the community, appreciating the books. I clean some books out. I get some money in my pocket, and we're all happy. I said, dude, tell me your PayPal or your Cash App. I'm sending it to you right now. And it took him like a week to mail it because of work and whatever like that. So it wasn't that big of a deal, but he shipped it out Monday, and it was here for me by today. And so, right. So Agu knows a little something about some Batman, bought the lower grade 155 for $80 by itself. That's what I thought, brother. And I said, my goodness, son, what is up? And so when you throw in some detective, 10-cent detective, 173, and then those other ones, and again, not that I'm not a Superman fan. I'm not gonna, poo on Superman or nothing like that. But it's not what I collect. But sure. But the detectives, the Batman family, little Batgirl action. Dude, you can go wrong for $100 ship. I mean, it cost him $8 or $9 to ship that. Actually, no, he shipped that in a $15. So it cost him $15, $85 before shipping. So yeah, that is definitely a crazy deal. So I do appreciate Jellyfingers for thinking about me and hooking me up with those sweet books. And so it is 9:16, people. And we have definitely had a lot of goodness, at least I think so. If you don't think so and you're watching this on the rewind, be sure to put something down in the chat. And if it's ugly, I'll just delete you. But if it's nice and kind, or it can be critical, as long as it's nice and kind, we'll leave it there. But be sure to smash that like button as you're getting out of here and hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that when videos like this drop ever so randomly, you'll be one of the first people to know, because I will be dropping video, like I said, about Spider-Man booth, the Comic Tom mystery unboxing, and a toy unboxing. So this is the first big toy that I've bought. It's not like a Marvel Legends like you buy at Walmart or something. This is from Big Bad Toy Store. So definitely was some of my earnings from comic auctions that scored this purchase last week, and I got it in today, and I'm going to be doing an unboxing video for that. So stay tuned for that video as well, and also going to be unboxing the art comic cover that I got from Squatchy's Comics. So be sure to be checking that out as well. And the easy thing is just to hit the bell notification so you won't miss any of that. But also be sure to enter into my 600 subscriber contest if you haven't already. And so that we get the 600 subscriber mark sooner rather than later, share this channel out so that other people you like, people you don't like, it doesn't really matter, but share it out to people that will subscribe it up so that we can get to that 600 subscriber mark sooner rather than later. Give that New Mutants 98 9.4 CGC slab with the Deadpool pop commemorating the experience, and announce the next giveaway. I already know what it's going to be, but I'm not going to announce what it is and how you're going to enter to win until that said time of 600 subscriber contest video. And as you might remember from other videos that I've done like that, I typically give away more stuff on that, schedule that, and then give more stuff away for the people that are on that live stream when that happens. So share the channel out, and we'll get there sooner rather than later. Low budget comics and things. I believe that I'm going to be on the Spying Ticks channel tonight. Have not checked my IG lately to see if I got my StreamYard invite or whatever, but I'm supposed to be over there. If I'm not over there for whatever reason, they filled up, didn't have no room for me, then they can certainly move on without me. But check those guys over there out. Always having a good time and whatever. And again, if you have a problem finding people that you want to sub up, check out these people in the chat here, and you will find some good content out there. People like yourselves that are just out there living their everyday lives and trying to escape a little bit of it by reading some good comics. And so hopefully you will have read some good comics before this weekend is up, had spent some time with your family, probably ate too much, and think towards January 1 and those New Year's resolutions as they were. Either way, staying safe while you're doing. And until next time, keep reading and keep collecting. Adios.